that we should ever have a good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of government.
Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. Today is August 29th, 2022. We cover the Bitcoin news, the fails, the catastrophes, the culture, everything. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. Today we have a very special show lined up, but first, famous Opti coming back from BitBlock Boom.
I don't know about famous. As Wine always tells me, I have leveled up. I am no longer just a D-list pleb celebrity. I think I'm moving up in the ranks. But yes, guys, awesome weekend. I am going to cover it in the daily culture. I am going to cover the BitBlock Boom and why I feel people should go and what I take out from this. So this is what my section is going to be today. It's a little different than usual, but this is the daily culture, and I think that this is a great moment to make this point since I'm still fresh off of the experience. So that's what I'm covering today, Nico.
Ooh, I'm excited. And today in the news, we're also going to cover a little bit about what was talked about during BitBlock Boom. Ross Stevens, I'll tell you a little bit about him in a second, but he announced, check this out, very interesting name. He called it In Wolf's Clothing, and that apparently is a Bitcoin Lightning Network Accelerator. What a name. I wonder what the name's about. But anyways, let's start the show, shall we? Number time. Brought to you by NODL. They make some of the best Bitcoin nodes. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. Remember, guys, if you don't run your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. And if you're a digital nomad, you have no excuse, because now you could run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. That's right, guys. If you are not running your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run a node. Do it today. Anyways, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is at 20,330. We did dip below 19K over the weekend. I hope you guys stack, because I stacked like crazy. Anyways, I borrowed money to stack. I didn't leverage, but I did borrow money. Anyways, sats per dollar, 4,919 Moscow time. Block height, 751,720. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 15,114. Blocks to the halvening, 88,280. Halving estimate, April 22nd, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 4,599 Bitcoin. Capacity value, $93 million US. Hash rate over the last 90 days, 207 exahashes. Realized monetary inflation, 1.78%. Market capitalization, $389 billion. Bitcoin is still a tiny little baby. Anyways, Dylan LeClaire posted a really interesting video over the weekend, and I wanted us to react to it. Apparently, it was the Minnesota Fed president. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry, guys. His name is Neil
Kashkari.
Thank you, Opti. Wow, Opti could read today. After BitBlock Boom, everything changed. On the advantages of central bank digital currencies. Anyways, let's see what he has to say, and then we'll talk about it in a second.
I'm pretty skeptical. I keep asking anybody at the Fed or outside of the Fed to explain to me what problem this is solving. I can send anybody in this room $5 with Venmo right now. Right? No, seriously. So what is it that a CBDC could do that Venmo can't do? And all I get is a bunch of hand waving. I get well, maybe it's better for financial inclusion. Maybe it's better for cross-border remittances. Maybe. Is there any evidence that it is? And they say, well, what about China? China's doing it. Well, I can see why China would do it. If they want to monitor every one of your transactions, you could do that with the central bank digital currency. You can't do that with Venmo. If you want to impose negative interest rates, you could do that with the central bank digital currency. You can't do that with Venmo. And if you want to directly tax customer accounts, you could do that with the central bank digital currency. You can't do that with Venmo. So I get why China would be interested. Why would the American people be for that?
How long until he gets fired or suicided? How long? Because I think he's saying what all Bitcoiners have been saying. And it's funny, after him saying that, connect the dots, guys. Remember what the UN report was saying, advocating for central bank digital currencies. The World Economic Forum advocating for central bank digital currencies. Now you heard it from someone that works at the American Central Bank, literally saying, parroting what Bitcoiners have been saying. This can and will be used for systems of control. If the UN was really concerned about financial inclusivity, they would push something like Bitcoin. But the problem is that if you push something like Bitcoin, that means less control for them. So it's exactly what Neil said, right? It's like he's kind of going in this like they're all in this bartering phase where they're trying to justify this totalitarian system in their heads so that everybody else goes along with it. But in reality, it doesn't do it better. Look, at the end of the day, and I think it was Owie Dieter Bob that said this, right? And I remember when he first told me, I was like, no, but they're going to implement central bank digital. He's like, dude, everything's digital already, right? Think about it. Like, you know, I know some places use cash. I know some of you like cash, right? But the majority of transactions for most people is through debit card. It's through the financial rails, right? And if you live in the United States, they're extremely developed, right? There's so many options. There's PayPal, there's Cash App, there's Venmo, right? So it already does these things. There's Zelle, right? It already does these things. Why do they want to implement this on top of it? Well, the reason that they came up with it in the first place is to try to remain relevant in the eyes of Bitcoin. That's why they came up with this. They wouldn't have done anything if it wasn't for Bitcoin. So central bank digital currencies are just an attempt by governments in order to remain relevant after which Bitcoin was invented. But now you're hearing it from the horse's mouth itself. You're hearing it from the people that stand the most to benefit from a central bank digital currency, what they can, and if history is a teacher, what they will be used in order to abuse their populations, in order to control their populations, right? So anyways, I don't think that guy's going to be working at the Fed very long. Opti, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, to be honest, it's just like a wow moment. I did not see this narrative coming from Neil Kashkari dunking on CBTCs on my bingo card. So this is a pretty awesome video, in my opinion, considering, like you said, you know, Bitcoiners have been saying this for a long time. And now it's like we say it all the time. You can't stop the signal. And we've said it on this show so many times that CBDCs is just PR. Like, Bitcoin has forced the narrative, and the powers that be have to spin this narrative so that they can co-opt the movement that is Bitcoin. And, you know, remember the last time that Neil Kashkari was in the news is when he was saying that the Fed can print infinite dollars, and then they rolled it back and was like, oh, wait, no, we don't just print money. You know, there's all this yada, yada, yada bullshit. And it's like, amazing that we're seeing this narrative happen. And I think this is just kind of further cements the idea that Nika says it all the time, you know, there is no cohesive unit of evil people out there that are doing this stuff. Like, there is some high level people that you can almost guarantee are like the evil ones that are working collectively, but that's a small handful of people. The majority of people are just individuals like you and I, and the incentives are set up in such a way where they have to continue to kick the can down the road. They have to, you know, they just work a normal job. They're trying to survive, and they're working within a certain framework. And I think we have this view right here with Neil Kashkari. You know, like, he understands what us Bitcoiners understand. It's like, everything's already digital, guys. There is no move to digital dollars. It's like the dollar is already digital. This is just a PR spin because, like I said, they understand that the Bitcoin narrative is so strong that they have to co-opt that narrative any way possible so that they can confuse the people out there that don't have the time to look down and do the deep dive research. You know, Nico's taught me this a lot. It's like, people only have enough time to read the headlines. And if you get a catchy headline, that's all that really matters. If people aren't really spending the time to dig in the weeds and read the meat and the substance of articles. So they just have good headlines, and they just keep pushing that narrative down until, you know, the truth comes out. And here we have it, you know, can't stop the signal. Everything is already digital. CBDC is trash. And now we have someone that is within the system saying the same thing as us Bitcoiners. So what, Bitcoiners right again. Bitcoiners stay winning. Feels good always being right, Nico. Like, it's kind of hard staying humble sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Like, we're always right.
Boom.
We're always right.
Boom, boom. I mean, it's just, look, once you understand the game theory, once you appreciate people's incentives, you kind of understand where this is going. And here's Loco, right? And I think he brings up a really good point. He says central bank digital currencies gets rid of the middleman from person to Fed, as is they don't have to deal with smaller banks. And that's very true. What a lot of people don't talk about with central bank digital currencies is that they would absolutely destroy retail banks, right? So Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citibank. A central bank digital currency would make it so that the citizen would have a direct account with the Federal Reserve itself, meaning the citizen would have a direct money account with the government. How freaking scary is that, man? Anyways. This is what we're fighting against. This is what we say, and we don't over-exaggerate when we say it. It's either Bitcoin and freedom or central bank digital currency slavery. That's the future that we're heading to. But anyways, Opti, let's get to the news. Daily news. Brought to you by CryptoCloaks.com. They make some of the best 3D printed Bitcoin merch, from node cases to key rings to the vents on the back of your ASIC for air management, and of course, the famous 3D printed Bitcoin grenade toy, which comes in any custom color your heart desires. You want it in gold? They make it in gold. And you can take advantage of the promo code down below to get 5% off CryptoCloaks.com. Boom. Anyways, this is Ross Stevens. That's him. Shout out to our friends at Bitcoin Magazine for the awesome articles, like always. Ross Stevens, everyone, is the guy, when Michael Saylor did a presentation, right, when he was feeling most bullish and he was stacking, it was the middle of the bull market, he did a presentation called, it was basically Bitcoin for Institutions, and Ross Stevens was the person that made the pitch. He was the front line for the Bitcoin for Institutions. And this is New York Digital Investment Group, also known as NYDIG, and they're responsible for not only advocating for Bitcoin as an alternative to fiat, but also pushing Bitcoin for institutions, right? And check out what he announced over the weekend at a BitBlock Boom satellite event at Bitcoin Commons in Austin, Texas. He launched a Light Network Accelerator project. I love the name, in wolf's clothing. And we're going to talk a little bit about that name because I know Opti is all about the spiritual stuff like that. I wonder what that name could mean. I'm going to obviously give my perspective, Opti of his. But anyways, the article goes on to say Ross Stevens, CEO of Stone Ridge Holdings Group and executive director of New York Digital Investment Group subsidiary, made an impromptu appearance at BitBlock Boom in Austin, Texas for a special announcement, participation in the MicroStrategy Corporate Strategy Program, and interview with the famous Bitcoin proponent Michael Saylor. He goes on to say, quote, I want to live in a world of rules not governed by rulers. This is basically mirroring what Bitcoiners always say, right? Rules without rulers. Speaking from the Bitcoin Commons, Stevens shared that NYDIG will launch a Lightning Accelerator project. The reality is that this year, the progress in Bitcoin and Lightning is staggering. Month after month after month, the nodes on Lightning are growing. This is true. We've gone over the Glassnode Hopium data many times with you guys. The accelerator is geared towards individual founders and small teams. Developers working on Lightning, Taro, Covenants, and pre-seed, seed, Series A companies. Transportation and lodging will be provided for participants from anywhere around the world. The program will be run in 8-week cohorts. There will be 8 to 12 teams per cohort, world-class mentors with office hours. The cohorts will be exclusively non-remote. There will be significant seed capital for each team with already recruited investors and full-time in-house expertise. People who are interested can apply at wolfnyc.com. Stevens closed his speech with, we're coming for you, fiat. Let's work tirelessly to make finance decentralized. Let's work tirelessly to make money decentralized. Or how we would say at Simply Bitcoin, let's work tirelessly to separate money from state. Anyways, look, piece of signal here. The fact that he's willing to do this in the depths of the bear market after Bitcoin fell 70% plus is a really good sign. The fact that Lightning Network continues to grow, even after Bitcoin fell 70% plus. It's exactly why we don't do price speculation on this show, because it's missing out on what is actually the signal. The signal is that the honey badger isn't stopping. Zoom out and look at what's happening, right? BlackRock just announced in the last couple weeks, I suspect they waited till the bear market. They just announced that they're getting into Bitcoin. BlackRock has $9.5 trillion under assets. Intel announced that they're making a Bitcoin mining chip. Samsung announced that they're making a Bitcoin mining chip. Samsung announced that they're selling Bitcoin. They want to launch a Bitcoin exchange in Korea, in South Korea. Bro, the stars are aligning. You won't recognize the Bitcoin world in 5 years' time. And here it is, pushing more Bitcoin innovation. If you're an entrepreneur, if you have an idea for Lightning, now you have someone that could potentially fund your idea. If you don't have the expertise at putting a company together, now you have a resource for you. And I think the signal there is the name of which he named this, right? In Wolf's clothing. I think it's very apparent. I don't think Bitcoin needs to hide. I think it could just show everyone to the world exactly what it is and connect us with the central bank digital currencies. And this is why they're trying to scramble. This is why governments are trying to scramble in order to remain relevant, because they get a tremendous amount of power from being the monopoly on the creation of money that was until Bitcoin. Holy crap, I've never been so bullish. But they're not going to go gently into that good night. They're going to try to fight it. But I know with you guys, I know with the solidarity that we all share, with the goal, with the end goal that we all want, separation of money and state, we're not only going to win this, we're going to motherfucking conquer. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Let's give you some horn first and foremost. On the name, I'm just reminded of the saying, like a sheep in wolf's clothing. And
what does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, it looks like we are, we're just like very, very docile, like we're not doing anything over here, guys. It's not that big of a deal. But it's like we are out here dominating and taking over the world. Like I agree. After this weekend in BitBlock Boom, it really does feel like Bitcoiners are just out here dominating completely and 100%. And it's like you said, man, it's first and foremost like, wow, mega funding of Lightning and having that push of like, guys, like Lightning is going to explode. But, people are still saying that Lightning is vaporware. It's too clunky. It's too hard. It's never going to work. And then you see stuff like this where it's like, okay, people need to zoom out. Humans will innovate, and we just continue to stay winning. Like Bitcoiners stay winning, Bitcoiners build in the bear markets, and now we have mega corporations that are Bitcoiners, or not even mega corporations, big time players, movers and shakers that are doubling down on Bitcoin, that are doubling down on Lightning. And it's just so bullish to be on the front lines with you guys. It makes me super excited after this weekend to just see everything that is happening in Bitcoin. I hope you guys caught some of the presentations other than this stuff at BitBlock Boom, because it's just back to a narrative that I've been saying a lot on the show. Bitcoin has crossed the mainstream Rubicon. We've been saying it a lot. What's the meme? First they ignore you, and then they mock you, and then they fight you. Well, we are definitely in the then they fight you stage. But what does that also mean? That if you go on the flip side, people are doubling down and they see what we see. Like we say it all the time, you can't stop the signal. And so people's incentives are becoming aligned with Bitcoin because Bitcoin will eat the world. Technology does eat the world. And furthermore, Bitcoin is a technology on top of the internet, which is already eating the world. So it's amazing what Bitcoin has been able to do in 13 years. And furthermore, it's amazing to see what Lightning has been able to do in 4 or 5 years or something. So it's still relatively new and it's just absolutely kicking ass out there. But look, people talk shit all the time about me always saying bullish on the show because I get so excited on this show every time we cover stuff. So if I put my tinfoil hat on, maybe I'll ask the people, or maybe Nico has a view on this, is like, is this a narrative spin where people are going to start to say that's like, oh, this is the co-opting of Lightning, you know, like this is like, you know, the powers that be creating a shitcoin on top of Lightning or whatever. Like you hear that talk on the internet and on Twitter, and it's like, I don't think so, but I see where people are coming from. It's because Bitcoiners are so paranoid. Like everything makes us paranoid, and we're always thinking adversarially, and we're always thinking of how this can be a bad thing, that we kind of forget, like, yo, this is fucking amazing. You know, now you have fun. Like you were saying, if you're a Lightning developer, you have an idea for Lightning or a product that you don't know how to make it happen completely. Now you have someone that is willing to put their money where their mouth is and back great ideas that are being built on Lightning. And this is just further proof that Bitcoiners breed entrepreneurs. And if you are really a Bitcoiner, then you should be trying to create the products that you want to see. And now we have people that are willing to help people create those products. And I'm just so excited. And you said it yourself right now. There was that clip you did over this weekend about, I think it was with BTC Sessions, and you said something on the lines of like, we will not recognize what Bitcoin is in 5 years, in 10 years. It's just going to be so different than what it is now. The you know, like right now, we're still a relatively small market, guys. Like, there's not that many Bitcoiners. Go out into the real world and talk about Bitcoin to people, and they're still sitting there like, shut up. Like, I don't care about Bitcoin. Like, don't talk to me about Bitcoin. But this is why we show up every single day. And I had a really cool conversation with Pete Rizzo at BitBlock Boom. And I told him like, yo, I love that article you just wrote because I've been saying the same thing of like, spread the good word about Bitcoin. Push the positive narratives about Bitcoin, because the world needs to know that there is a solution to the problems that they're experiencing in their life, and that is Bitcoin. And here we are. You can't stop the signal. More people are doing what us average Bitcoiners are doing, pushing Bitcoin adoption, doing whatever they can to go 100% full-time into Bitcoin and, you know, fix the world, fix the money, fix the world, and help humanity free itself so that we can create a fucking better world on planet Earth.
Amen.
Amazing.
Anyways, speaking of the powers that be, I'm going to go gently into that. Good night. We covered this when this happened, right? And just kind of doubling back to this. This was August 21st, it was last year, it was 2021, is an article by Mackenzie Sigalos, and we covered this, right? We said when the United States pulled out of Afghanistan, they shut off Afghanistan from the global financial system. And the only thing that still worked for Afghanis was Bitcoin, right? So just to read the headline for our audio listeners, it says, inside Afghanistan's cryptocurrency underground as the country plunges into turmoil. I'm just going to read a quick quote and then going to get into the breaking news. In Afghanistan, we don't have platforms like PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. Remember, guys, connect the dots. Remember what Neil, the person that worked at the Federal Reserve, said, right? About the United States has developed financial rails. Afghanistan obviously doesn't. Says Afghanistan still mostly operates as a cash economy, so money in Hotak's crypto wallet won't help him put dinner on his table, however, but it does give him peace of mind that some of his wealth is safeguarded against economic instability at home. Now, this article came out today, is by Bloomberg. The headline of the article says, Taliban ban crypto in Afghanistan, arrest dealers of tokens. Afghanistan's central bank imposed a nationwide ban on cryptocurrencies this month, and the Taliban regime has arrested several dealers who defied orders to stop trading digital tokens, according to a senior police official. The crackdown comes after some Afghans turned to cryptocurrencies to preserve their wealth and keep it out of the Taliban's reach. Crypto has become a popular way of moving money in and out of the country, which is shut off from the global banking system due to sanctions leveled on the militant group. The central bank, think about how fucked up this is, right? And this is what we always talk about, how Bitcoin moves and only Bitcoin, by the way. Crypto provides a false sense of sovereignty that will continue to be exposed as the years goes on. last week when the Treasury sanctioned the privacy tool Tornado Cash and it was exposed and everyone came to the realization that, holy crap, the US government can potentially sanction Ethereum because Ethereum is run by Jeff Bezos, controlled by the US government. So crypto provides a false sense of financial sovereignty. Only Bitcoin provides that full financial sovereignty because it emphasizes on decentralization. Anyways, think about how fucked this is. Before Bitcoin, the people of Afghanistan were being screwed by two sides. By the US government placing sanctions on Afghanistan and by the Afghanistan government itself. Now came Bitcoin. And for the first time, an individual in Afghanistan could transact with another individual overseas without the need to deal with the US government and all the financial system that it's captured, and without dealing with the Afghani government that happens to be the Taliban. And of course, what we always say, Bitcoin is the money of enemies. Bitcoin gives individuals freedom they never wish had. So now you have the Afghani government freaking out and saying, holy crap, we can't control people as much as we'd like because of Bitcoin. And you have the US government, specifically the US Treasury, which Cynthia Lummis cleared up this weekend at BitBlock Boom, taking a very similar stance. We can't have individuals have this much freedom. Dude. That story in Afghanistan gave me chills because it was obvious that it was coming. When a government bans Bitcoin, it's out of self-preservation. It is of no benefit to its citizens. And again, highlighting the failed policy of US sanctions, which will be an excuse of which they will attack Bitcoin in the future. I thought sanctions were meant to, you know what they always pitch us off, regime change. Obviously, that hasn't worked in North Korea. That didn't work in Venezuela. That didn't work in Cuba. And who are the real victim of these sanctions? The people of those countries. And that was highlighted in Afghanistan. When people got cut off from the financial system, and now there is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin gave them that hope. But of course, now the Afghani government itself said, no, you can't have that either. We want total power and control. And by the way, central bank digital currencies are literally a worse nightmare. They will be able to turn your account at a flip of a switch. That will be a wet dream for the Chinese. They're already implemented. That would be a wet dream for the Taliban in Afghanistan. The only thing that is standing that gives individuals the freedom to transact, the freedom to vote with their feet, pick up everything they own and just leave, is Bitcoin. Of course, they're going to, say crypto provides that as well. Crypto provides a false sense of financial sovereignty. And I think people are going to learn that as time progresses. If you're in stable coins, if you were in Luna, or if you're in USDC, if you're in Tether, you can and will have your shit frozen. Bitcoin is the only thing that is immune to the fucking fiat politics that is happening. Anyways, dude, this is crazy. So Afghanistan followed the path of China. They're trying to strong arm their citizens to use a currency of which the governments can control. And I think this really highlights the theories from the sovereign individuals. Bitcoin is exposing the real incentives of governments. Governments are being shown to self-preserve themselves rather than serve the citizens they're supposed to protect. It's becoming incredibly obvious that some people in the US government believe that the government is by the government for the government rather than the government being by the people for the people. Bitcoin exposes everyone's incentives, and here it is doing again. The Taliban banned Bitcoin in Afghanistan. Good luck. Like in China, I don't think it will work. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts?
Go off, King. Go off. I mean, my first thought is just it's a simple meme, like, trust me, citizen, this is for your own good. Like, we're going to protect you from the Bitcoin price volatility. We're going to protect you from speculation. And it's like, lol, of course, this is the narrative. It's such a simple narrative. And I'm just reminded of Christine Lagarde's quote of, if there's an exit door, people will use it. these people understand that Bitcoin is the exit door. They're going to have to clamp down on this. And I really like this comment that Level 99 Slacker put in the chat. And he goes, judge something by its enemies. China banned Bitcoin, the Taliban banning Bitcoin, and central banks around the world want to ban it. Like, it just, again, like, it feels so good to be a Bitcoiner. We just stay winning. It's like, okay, come at me. Bitcoin can't be stopped. It has what right now is like little under $500 billion bounty on Bitcoin. And all these people can really do is spin a PR narrative of like, oh, you know, orange coin bad. Like, we already have the meme, guys, orange coin bad. And what? We just stay winning. Like, Bitcoin just continues to get adopted. You know, more people are out there stacking. More businesses are trying to build on Bitcoin. There's more startups on Bitcoin. It's like I said a minute ago, Bitcoin has crossed the mainstream Rubicon, and they can't stop it. Like, let's go. I say it all the time, you know, like, you can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. So I love seeing stuff like this because we're so close to the news now that every time you see something like this, I always have a silver lining. You know, like, it's optimist fields for a reason. I just stay optimistic on stuff like this. Is like, yeah, okay, of course, you know, like, some tyrant out there, some authoritarian figure is trying to stop Bitcoin and trying to free or stop people from becoming free in their transactions. It's like, this is why we Bitcoin. This is good for Bitcoin. It will just prove once again, you can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. And any government out there that is going to try to ban Bitcoin, it just proves our point for us. Your government doesn't care about you. The state fucking hates you. They do not want you free. They want you tagged and bagged. Like, they don't want you healthy. So, like, just the heuristic of like, do the opposite of what the government tells you. Don't break any laws, but like, do the opposite of what they tell you, and you're gonna be healthy. You're gonna be free. You're gonna live a good life. Like, it's a very simple Dude, heuristic.
Fiat has corrupted the incentives so bad that, unfortunately, what you're saying is true, right? Like,
right?
In the last 2 or 3 years, it's become incredibly obvious that they don't have your best intentions at heart. They have they're incentivized to protect themselves and to help themselves. And why is that? Dude, they don't need you. They don't need your approval. They have an unlimited money printer that pays for any crazy idea that they come up with. And you that are forced to earn in that said currency, right, are forced to go along with it while they extract wealth from you to pay for themselves. And Bitcoin is a silent protest. It's the peaceful revolution. It's saying, yo, I'm sick and tired of being stolen from. I don't want to do this anymore. And in the process of existing, in the process of it doing that, all of these governments, whether it's the Taliban, whether it's the US government, whether it's the EU, whether it's China, right? At least China doesn't hide its true intentions. At least they're just like, yo, like, you know what? Like, fuck this. The Taliban's like, you know what? Fuck this. Right? You know, the US government, EU are kind of going in this like, it's to protect you, man. No. It's to protect their ability to create money out of thin air at your expense. And that's what Bitcoin is a protest against. That's why we will win, because the incentives are much stronger than their coercion. And I'm really looking forward for them to expose themselves more and more and more and more, to the point, and the sovereign individual also predicted this, they're going to continue to get more and more and more desperate, and you're going to see things out of your governments that you would have never have thought imaginable 10 years ago. I mean, they did just hire 87,000 IRS agents in the US, and they named the bill literally Inflation Reduction Act. Crazy times. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody. It is a hell of a roller coaster ride.
Before we go, you reminded me of that stat that you said last week about the fact that the U.S. government is the biggest employer in the world. It's like, we live in a world of bureaucrats pushing papers and telling hardworking individuals what to do. It's just like the strong men meme, you know, like weak men create strong men. This is where we're at, guys. Like the paper pushers. Yes, exactly. Like the paper pushers out there are telling people what to do. And it's just like the fiat bloat is getting to such a point where the bubble is going to pop. And hopefully you have some hard skills and you have your Bitcoin in cold storage and you can provide the value and get the Bitcoin. Like, guys, serve your fellow man, provide the value, use your skills to build something. Stop being a paper pusher, because the paper pushers are trying to incentivize a world where the paper pushers get more of the pie. And it's like, bro, they are stealing from you and they aren't even hiding it anymore. And then they're telling you with a straight face to like, this is for your protection, citizen. Mm-hmm. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Clown World confirmed. But if you're watching this, you're ahead of the curve. You know, Bitcoiners stay winning. It's so beautiful.
But only if you take Bitcoin into self-custody. And ideally, you should be running your own node, because if not, you're trusting someone else's. But anyways, Opti, let's get to the culture, bro. Daily culture. Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. Swan incentivizes self-custody, and they also incentivize dollar cost averaging. Spread out that risk. Visit SwanBitcoin.com today. Before we get to the culture, I want to give a shout out to the largest Bitcoin conference on the West Coast, November 10th through the 11th in sunny Los Angeles, California. Speaker list includes Corey Clipston, Alex Epstein, Dylan LeClaire, Jeff Booth, Eric Kassan, Mark Moss, Alex Gladstein, Dr. Jeff Ross, and Nico. That's right, I'm there. Anyways, you can take advantage of the promo code down below to get 10% off your tickets to Pacific Bitcoin. Anyways, Opti, what do you have for us today, brother?
Before I get into my segment today, how's that photo of Nico? He's looking kind of wild, bro. That hair be looking wild, dog. But yes, okay. I absolutely love that we had the Pacific Bitcoin ad right before this, because like I said in the spaces and I said in the beginning of this show, guys, I just came back from BitBlock Boom and I had an absolute great time. And so I want to help push this narrative of guys, you should be going to these Bitcoin only conferences. It's not necessarily about what is being said on the stage, because you could always watch these presentations after the fact. The reason you go to these conferences, and you can see, there's a lot of cool speakers. Like, the thing about these guys is when you're at these conferences, they're just regular people, guys. Like, they are so open and willing for you to come up, have a conversation with them, give them some love, giving them the daps, and they're for the most part awesome people. And again, the reason you come to these conferences is because, look, I am full-time Bitcoin now, but I understand that a lot of you out there are still have one foot in the fiat world and one foot in the Bitcoin world. And at times, as we tell you guys all the time, you feel like you are crazy. You feel like, how do other people not see what I see? And then you come to a conference and, sometimes it's only once a year, maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times a year if you're really lucky. And you realize, like, wow, there is more people out there like me. There is more solid Bitcoiners that are putting in the work, that see the world like I see, that aren't completely asleep. And it's refreshing, guys. Like, it is so inspiring to be around a room full of just the best, smartest, brightest, funniest people in the world. And you just hang out and you have beers, you eat dinner, you chill by the pool, you do LobbyCon, you do PoolCon. And this is why you go to this stuff. It's like me and Nico, for instance, we went to BitBlock Boom 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago now. It was 2020, or 3 conferences ago. And we didn't even know each other. We were hanging out in Discord. We've been on Twitter for years, going back and forth. And we had our friend Surfer Jim basically show the conference to us. He's like, yo, guys, like, you need to go to this conference. Like, this is exactly where you need to go. And this year I was kind of like poking fun at Nico. He's like, bro, you need to go like network. I'm like, I'm not a networker, bro. Like, I just hang out with my friends. But he was right. Like, this year is the first time I worked the conference as like a professional Bitcoiner, as a corporate Bitcoiner, you know, and it was absolutely the best time of my life. Not only did we get like a really awesome house with a bunch of my Bitcoin Twitter friends, and we just had the best time together just chilling. When I was at the conference working, it was the most fun time ever. I was just having the best time on Spaces. I was grabbing every Bitcoiner I could, that I recognize, and just bringing them in and just having the time of my life. Like, yo, it's almost like a dream. It's almost surreal to be hanging out with all these people, rubbing shoulders with these people, and realizing they're just like you. They're just humans that have put in the work, that are Bitcoiners, that understand what is going on. And there was a point, I hope you guys watched the presentations. Like, I absolutely loved the Jimmy Song presentation. I missed the Jack Mahler's presentation, but apparently it was fire. And then I'm going to reference the little speaking moment that Surfer Jim went up on it and talked about. He's like, look, guys, when you're at these conferences, just say hello to someone right next to you. You may not know who he is. He may just be an average Bitcoiner. But if you just say hello to the guy next to you, you never know who you're sitting next to. You have no clue what they do in their life. And it reminds me of what Gaz said in her little tidbit, is like, look, you come to these conferences, you're probably tired of your fiat life, your fiat job, and you're like, how can I escape the rat race? How can I find a way to do the things that I'm here to do on planet Earth? And you just talk to someone right next to you, and you're like, yo, like, what do you do? Oh, wow, that's cool. Like, I have these skills. Does your company need this kind of person there? You know, and you'd be pleasantly surprised at who you're hanging out with and what they need. And again, like I say it all the time, provide the value and you will get the Bitcoin. So you want to go to these conferences because, first and foremost, they are absolutely the funnest things ever. Like, hey, this may not be the best, the best shill, but like, you don't even need to go to the conference. Just be around the conference and it's going to be worth your time, guys. I know as a Bitcoiner, toxic Bitcoiner, like, don't scam yourself out of your future wealth. Like, don't spend your sats. But I fundamentally think that spending your sats to go to this stuff is more worth it than the sats that you're trying to hold on to. Like, this is an experience that is worth the sats. You want to go to this stuff because, like, not only are you going to be hanging out with the movers and shakers of Bitcoin, and you can potentially get a job or whatever. If you want to network at the event, by all means, you can do that. But what I love to do, I just go to these, I have a great time with my friends. And before I am full-time Bitcoin, like, most people know now I live with Bitcoiners. So I do this every single day. Like, this is the feeling you get at a Bitcoin conference is the feeling that I have every single day of my life. So you guys out there that are still in the fiat world, you want to go to these Bitcoin conferences because, one, it's going to revitalize your hope in humanity. It's like, oh my God, like, my life can be like this all day, every day if I put in the work. And now, like, me and my roommates were joking. It's like, wow, everyone's gonna, everyone left the conference and they went home, and like, our conference continued. Like, our vibe is still the same thing, and it's all day, every day. And I just want to show this, this is just me plugging myself for a moment. But look, I look at these like awesome photos I have here. A P from Bitcoin Magazine. I'm sitting there with Matt Odell. Like, I had a moment where I brought in Stefan Livera and Eric Cason right next to me, and I was just like mind blown. Like, what is going on? I had the crypto couple right there. I had Nat Brunell. I was just like, I was trolling everyone in real time, but like, giving you guys an awesome experience. I sat with TC Meditation Man and Aussie and other shit posters and memers and Bitcoiners that I just hang out with on the internet, and just to feel the love in real time. It was absolutely amazing. Look at this photo from TC. It's like, look, Ma, I'm an influencer. Like, look at me. I look awesome. Like, what is going on? Like, is this real life? Oh, my camera came off. Wow, Nico. Amazing. Amazing. But Guys, you want to go to this stuff. This is why you do it. I hope you guys go to the conference because you need to experience this stuff in real time. I say it all the time. The verified Bitcoin network that you are building on Twitter needs to extend into real life. You need to continue to build these connections and literally build with them, guys. Like hashtag I am building, hashtag it's a great time, hashtag make sure you go to a Bitcoin conference. And you know, just to plug Gary and the BitBlock Boom, you know, we had a great time. I'm hoping that we're going to be back there next year with Nico there in the flesh because it'll be so much more fun when it's both of us there, dude. Like,
hell yeah.
It was such a great time. Again, you need to make it to these conferences. They're absolutely the best time in the world. And, you know, spend your sats for a good time. Spend your sats for a good purpose. Do not just hoard your sats forever. I am not telling you to dump your cold storage. I'm just saying, you know, this is your life. Enjoy it a little bit. Smell the roses. The money that you're saving is supposed to be spent for good causes so that you can live the life that you want to live. And I think that going to this stuff is more than worth it. And the effects and the ripples that come out of this stuff, it lasts a lifetime, man. Like I'm building where I'm living and who I live with. Like it's because I went to these conferences and because we realized like, oh my God, like we're fucking awesome, man. Like, and we're going to continue to spread that energy day in and day out. And if you're still in the fiat world, guys, like come to these experiences so that you can feel the vibes and you can continue to push this energy back in your normal life when the fiat world is trying to pummel you and grind you to the ground. Stay strong, stay positive. We are winning. And this just further proves my point that we are winning. When you hang out with people just like you and everyone is just so convicted and just so like, let's go, you know, it's so awesome. Anyways, dude, Nico, rant down.
It is so, you know, it really what Bitcoin conferences are, it's, dude, they're freedom conferences. Like the freedom vibes that you get there. Like Jimmy Song was like, dude, we need to make truth great again. I tweeted that out like 3 weeks ago. You know, total coincidence, right? But it's that you're on the same mindset. And the problem is that when you chill with, you know, your fiat friends, people that haven't taken the orange pill yet, they don't see what you see. They're still being strung along, right? Either by money, either by the media. When you chill with a group of 100, 200, 300 Bitcoiners, dude, they're in sync with you. They might not have all your likes, all your tastes, but you could tell that you see the world the way that these people see the world. And it's really a breath air, right?
Hold on. I don't mind to cut you off, but people are concerned about the OPSEC aspects of this stuff. Look, you can be like, you can wear masks there if you want. Like if you're concerned with privacy, you know, I get it. There is a trade-off here. You know, you can experience a human aspect behind Bitcoiners, but I say it all the time, be proud to be a Bitcoiner. Look, like I wore a mask for the first, like 3 months of being on this show. And now it's like, I think doxing has been the best experience of my life. Not telling everyone to dox. We need a non-Bitcoiners, but also we need public-facing Bitcoiners because everyone will be a Bitcoiner. Yep. And it is what it is. Protect yourself, be smart. But man, you should come to this stuff. It's absolutely the best time ever.
100%. And yeah, man, it's if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for, you know, to get to know the people that you see all the time and, you know, and I'm sure you consume Bitcoin media, you will get to meet them in the flesh, in person. You'll be able to strike a conversation with them. Bitcoiners are some of the nicest people on the face of the planet. Don't believe the toxic labels. The toxic labels are there because shitcoiners don't like being exposed. So rather than, acknowledging what you're saying and debating what you're saying, they just try to censor you with names, right? So ignore that. Like I said, go to one if you can. The BitBlock Boom one was just recently. Pacific Bitcoin's coming up. Also, Bitcoin Mag is throwing one in Amsterdam. I'm sure they're going to throw another one back in Miami as well. So yeah, you definitely want to go to try to go to one of these conferences. Each one has a totally different vibe, right? So yeah, man. Woo. Anyways, Opti, It's a favorite part of the show, bro. It's the part of the show that everybody's been waiting for. It's meme review time. Daily meme review. Brought to you by Citadel 21. It's the best Bitcoin cultural zine. It's stories, articles, comics by actual Bitcoiners. This is the artwork for volume 11. This is the artwork for volume 10. And this is the artwork for volume 2. Volume 2 is almost sold out because there's only 1,000 physical copies made per volume. So get your prints of Citadel 21 today before they run out. All right, Opti.
All right. Well, of course, we are here for the memes, guys. And you already know, put your meme review score. I know. I'm doing it right now. Put your meme review score. I kind of thought that there was another ad there, but anyways, I'm still, my brain isn't fully back. I had way too much fun. My dopamine levels and serotonin levels were off the charts, so I need to come back to normal life. But put your meme review score in the chat, guys. Before the last meme, so that we can, read them on the show. And Nico, I still don't have the memes are artillery in the information war.
Yeah, I got you.
We need this. I'll get it soon.
I got you. All right. So memes are important because tweets are bullets, but memes are artillery in this narrative trench warfare that we're fighting hand to hand on the battleground of the internet against central bankers and governments.
Let's go. All right, guys. So the first one, I love this one, considering that I just got back from BitBlock Boom. And in my opinion, all the people there are fucking rock stars. Like, they are the coolest people, the smartest people, the funniest people. And it's such a good vibe. And so this one's by @MaxiClub. He goes 133, top one. And it goes, Bitcoin killed the fiat star. And it's like a Pepe the Frog in his robe with a Bitcoin cone. And he's just strobing out, having a good time. I love this meme. It's a good vibe. This next one, I guess a little more controversial. This is by a Beauty on. He goes, KYC AML, #Bitcoin. And it's a guy in a box with eyeballs everywhere. Oof. Deep
Those are
meme.
central bank digital currencies right there, bro.
That's true.
That's what they are.
That is true. Also. Okay, next one. Following the last meme, I thought these two together complemented themselves really well. And this one's by my friend Run the Banks, or @empty_banks. And it's Braveheart. Mel Gibson and Braveheart with blood on his face. And he goes, that moment you realize not everyone wants freedom. And this is something we say all the time on this show. People are willing to exchange their freedom for safety. And if you do that, you're going to get wrecked, guys. What's Nico say all the time? Freedom is uncomfortable. Freedom is risky. The utopian world that these psychopaths want for you, it's just a world where you have traded all your freedom for your safety, guys. And the people out there that do this, that are, they tell you to play it safe. They tell you to do this. And it's like, man, I like freedom. I like my personal freedom. I'm a human. Let me take my risk in my life, and I'll handle the consequences. This is what I think it means to be a Bitcoiner, taking full responsibility of your actions and knowing that, hey, man, freedom isn't free and it isn't safe. But as a person of means, as a person that provides values, someone with skills, a freaking human, you will be able to handle it. Weak times create strong men, and we're in this moment where we have strong men being created.
Exactly. Dude, the Bitcoin revolution is impossible without more individuals taking personal responsibility. We are in clown world today because too many people outsource that responsibility. There's the responsibility of the storage of money, the responsibility for seeking information to other sources, and those sources have abused that power. People are starting to wake up, but we can't win this. We can't win this if people don't start taking ownership over their motherfucking lives. Anyways,
facts, bars. BTC Pins, I see your comment. Says, what if the last meme sucks though? Could Rug pull my score? Bro, I'm putting out fire memes, dude. Come on. Anyways, this next one is by investing.com, and it's on that one, the cat meme, the lady yelling at the cat, and the blonde lady goes, you said inflation would be transitory, and it's got Jerome Powell with the cat face, and it says, it's transitioning to hyperinflation. Okay, this next one is by @Rothmas, and it's a quote, and it goes, stealing property, or it's like a letter or a poster. It says, stealing property through violence and murder, and then it's a guy, and he's sitting there thinking, like, sounds too rude. And so they changed the narrative. Instead of stealing property through violence and murder, the note says taxation, and everyone claps. Oh my God, it just sounds so much better. Guys, taxation is theft. It's coercion. They force you, they tell you by guns and by scaring you into a cage that you need to pay this or else. Sounds like violence to me. This next one, I want to put this one in last week. Dan Darkpill is back on Twitter. I love Dan Darkpill. He's a OG Bitcoin anon. And of course, he's going to dunk on Craig Wright. And it's a book. Here's a book by Craig Wright, and it says, How to Alienate Everyone by Being an Absolute Cunt. Oh, man.
You're black. You turn black, bro.
God. Oh, my God. Well, apparently...
What do you do to your camera?
I don't know. I think I'm too hot over here because your boy is sweating right now. So I think my AC isn't working right now. Anyways, this last meme is by Relay App, and it goes here, and it goes someone pointing at a map. Where is France? And he goes here, and then a little kid pointing. Where is Brazil? And he goes here. And the last one is, where is your love for Bitcoin? And it is here in my heart. I added this one, guys, because I just came back from BitBlock Boom, and this is just how it feels, man. It really does feel like a community of people. As Nico said, a freedom conference. You know, there's so much love being spread at these conferences. Everyone is absolutely positive and focused on building and understanding what the problem is, but critiquing everyone with the idea of like, look, this is not personal. I'm not here to attack you. I'm here to help this movement become better. And this is how this is how I feel Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin's changed my life. It's changed my mind. It's changed my friends. It's changed where I live. Like, I have so much love for Bitcoin. I have so much love for my Bitcoin friends. And, you know, like, this is why I've dedicated all my time to Bitcoin. This is why I'm in spaces all those hours, because I fundamentally believe that Bitcoin helps humanity. And I don't know what else I could be doing that is better than that. So, you know, the love for Bitcoin is definitely in my heart. And shout out to everyone I was hanging out this weekend. It was absolutely awesome. I got to like show love to Stefan Livera and Matt Odell and tell them in person, like, yo, you guys changed my life. Like, I would not be here without your guys' podcast. Like, it's just a special moment, man. You guys need to go to this stuff. This is why you Bitcoin, you know, or maybe just your local meetup. Like, it's a different vibe, but like, yo, it really is absolutely awesome.
What would you give those memes, bro?
I got it. I'm sorry, Nico. I'm sorry. On that note, I got this meme by BTC Pins, and it says, fuck the fucking fuckers.
All right, I'm going to give it something that I just got recently in the mail. If you know, you know. The Bitbox 02 Bitcoin only edition Swiss-made hardware wallet. That's what I'm going to give it. That's what I'm going to give those memes. But anyways, guys, this is the meme review, Simply Bitcoin meme review live. That means rate the memes yourself, put it in the chat, and we will read them off. First meme score is by the man, the myth, the legend himself, BTC Pins. I give those memes my BitBlock Boom swag bag. Next, we got Red Rope. I rate those memes an Aussie wheelchair. I don't know what that means, but all right. All right, next one by Max. I give memes a Yorkshire tea bag. Oh, that's great. All right, next one by Extemos. This meme's cut so deep, I give them a 42-inch paper cut blade recently sharpened. Ow, ow, that hurt. I'm just reading those and that hurt. All right, next one by Nope Note a Day. I give those memes all the bodies and and Buron's basement. All right. The plebs, trolling the plebs. I rate those memes my salty. Oh, man, I love my salty balls. Okay. Next one by D. I give those memes 8 Odells and 2 Justin Mooms. Wow. And John, damn Bitbox 2 with the plastic still on. I like...
Mint.
Like,
it's mint.
It is mint. It is mint. Anyways, guys, going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right, that's the meme review. Opti, there was a software release today. Let's check it out. Bitcoin software release. Brought to you by CipherSafe. Don't be that person that stores their Bitcoin seed on paper. Paper is prone to water damage, fire damage, dog attacks, everything. Your seed can be eaten by dogs or cats or animals if you store it on paper. You definitely want to store your seed on steel, and there's no better place to do it than the CipherSafe. Get yourself a Cipher wheel or a Cipher grid today. Visit ciphersafe.io.
All right, guys, let's go. Today's software release is Join Market version 0.9.7. And as you can see, the notable reworking of the Tumblr algorithm motivated by finding an error. So, guys, Join Market is getting better. And, you know, hey, I'm not the best when it comes to the privacy wars, but from what I hear, Join Market is the GOAT out there. So if they're updating releases and they're making it better for the average person, making it better for the high functioning dumb like myself to use it, I am all for this. We need to get this stuff out there. Anyways, guys, if you like what we're doing over here, go listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or just go to the anchor.fm website and you can get all the sauce. And of course, if you think we're providing value, guys, go to Fountain and stream us some sats. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. And shouts out to everyone that I hung out with this weekend that showed me love. It feels good, man. It feels really good. Anyways, Nico, let's roll this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our clothing sponsor. Opti and I wear the threads every single show. Check out representltd.com. It's stylish. It's comfortable. He makes Simply Bitcoin. No, he's making Simply Bitcoin merch. He makes Bitcoin merch. You definitely don't want to miss it. And you can take advantage of the promo code down in the description to get 10% off anything off the representltd.com store. Also, check out Simply Bitcoin's Telegram chat. You join it by going to t.me/the Simply Bitcoin channel. Check out Simply Bitcoin's blog. It's called Simply Bitcoin Unfiltered. You can go to it at simplybitcoin.news. We have some awesome writers. Shout out Zach. Shout out Rustin. You definitely want to check it out. Guys, that was our show. We have so much fun doing this. Thank you so much for joining us. If you really like the show, smash that like button. If you really, really like the show, subscribe. Make sure to share it with your friends. Get the show out there. Get the signal out there. That's what YouTube likes the most. You sharing it with friends and family, especially if you feel like the show provided you value. We tried to get you the truth. In this world full of lies, we tried to get you the signal. We tried to give you hope in a world of nihilism. That's really what it is, man. But anyways, guys, we love you, and we will see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.